So after Mudahar and Carl Jobs exposed the Open Hand Foundation's suspicious tax filings, the charity donated $600,000 on December 4th to the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration. And today, Gerard, aka the Completionist, a founder and former board member of the charity, took to Twitter to address everything. First, he denied any and all criminal activity. He apologized for promising that the money would go to specific charities that didn't receive the donations. Their goal was to hold the money so they could meet a threshold to form a restricted donation, which ensures the money is used for a specific measure. Open Hand was talking to various research groups but wanted to make sure the money would be used effectively, but it was irresponsible to name any charities before any decisions were made. The suspicious tax filings were due to the Open Hand Foundation transitioning from a 503 private charity into a public charity. While they transitioned, the IRS conducted an audit of the charity and concluded there was no wrongdoing. The discrepancies in the golf tournament were largely due to the pandemic halting the tournament and donations taking time to be wired and processed. He denied any money being missing. As for Indieland, if it were to continue, there would be no charity aspect going forward. And due to the whole fiasco, he would be stepping down from being on the board of Open Hand. More importantly, he was insulted by the allegations levied against him and his family, and upset that people were painting him and his family as criminals that were using his dead mother's name to hide their wrongdoings. Honestly, his response was really well done, very concise, informative, and he apologized for his mistakes. Here's the thing, his mistake wasn't something he could just put a band-aid on by donating all the money in one fell swoop. Initially, both Muda and Carl made no mention of embezzlement. They were arguing that he was committing charity fraud by promising that the money would go to specific places when in reality, it stayed in their account, which is all true. When Dexerto initially misrepresented their story and alleged embezzlement, Mudahar reached out personally to deny those allegations. Even though Open Hand did donate the money to AFD, they didn't donate the money to the places they promised when they hosted Indieland. It wasn't until Carl and Mudahar discussed the Completionist father's charity golf tournament that they alleged claims of embezzlement. Those videos were mainly them speculating on the amount of money being raised, then telling people to report them to the IRS, which was definitely a move, I guess. But as an outsider, I'm sorry, Gerard, the questions were absolutely valid. For you to say specifically the money would go to specific charities, then not inform people the money they donated for those charities were not going to the places you promised, it was more than irresponsible. It's just so suspicious. I agree it wasn't right for people to allege you and your family were stealing money, but after a month of silence, people's minds naturally went to the worst case scenario. I'm really glad things are cleared up. I believe Gerard and his family had great intentions, but drawing attention to the situation was absolutely warranted. Like, let's say Mudahar and Carl never made the video. How long would the money be sitting there for? In some part of my mind, I'm always going to wonder that. I trust that it was a mistake on his part, but it wasn't a small mistake.